2.5 Purpose Cycle. Probe scan the 7 frictions and examine the results. Some companies are finding they are caught in a maze of frictions and waste. They have 20th century waste and 21st century friction confounding them simultaneously. Only crystallized purpose will transform the maze into a ladder of opportunity. Recently, I spent time with a Seattle, Washington-based company that is fairly well known. They have a magnificent cloud-based infrastructure for point of sale, Internet of Things, and many hyper-connected tools that they use in their workforce and to service customers and consumers around the world. But they still have many of their human resources systems and back office systems and operational systems using 20th century processes and tools. They are hyper connected in consumer facing ways, and they are very 20th century entrenched in their operational and back office ways. They are literally a multi-billion-dollar company caught in what I call the crazy maze. The 8 wastes of the 20th century that Taiichi Ohno perfected alongside Sakichi Toyoda in his study of the Toyota product system include defects, overproduction, waiting, unused talent, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing. The 7 frictions of the 20th century, which Agile Immersive has coined, are flux, which are a virtual hybrid process that requires non-value-added actions; inventory, non-pull, just-in-time approaches that are impacted by supply chain breaks; volume, forecasting errors that lead to refactoring; errata, replicated deviations that do not yield learning; waiting, time delay; defects, inadequate efforts that lead to refactoring; and mismatch, inaccurate problem set capture that leads to poor solutions. The probe is either a manual, step-by-step through the frictions of the 20th century and, if appropriate, the 8 wastes of the 20th century. Probe scan means we actually take, if you don't have an automation tool, you actually physically take your acceptance test driven development log of tests and you go step by step by step and you look for flux. Is there a level of hybrid processing or virtual processing that has non-value added actions in the steps in my tests? That's flux. I'm going to look at my test and see if there are just-in-time approaches that have some predictable supply chain breaks, or is it non-pull, or that means not capacity designed. Are there volume frictions? That means that there's errors in my forecasting that may lead to refactoring. Is there errata? Are there deviations in what has been replicated in my code or in the work that I'm doing that does not yield learning? Is it just simply errata? Is it just errors that go over and over and over again? Waiting. That's where the hourglass is just spinning. We're just literally delayed. Defects. Are there inadequate efforts that lead to refactoring in my tests? Mismatch. Did I not understand the problem set? Did I not understand the business problem well enough? Is there a mismatch in the solutions that I'm actually potentially exploring and testing? Am I inaccurate so that the problem set may not represent the full understanding of the larger and perhaps deeper root cause? Is there a mismatch? So these are what we're going to probe. We literally are looking for frictions in our test log to find and to fix. If we do not discover only frictions from the 20th century, but also discover wastes of the 20th century, we are in the crazy maze. Evidence that you're in the crazy maze is if you have a hyperconnected potential probe scan with the results of errata. So you have deviations that aren't yielding learning. And you find that you have extra processing where you're actually overproducing higher quality than is necessary. That would be an example of you and or your company being in a crazy maze. The only way to escape the crazy maze is crystallized purpose that transforms the maze into a ladder of opportunity. The powerful thing that you are holding in your hand, potentially in your Miro board, is that DFFP cycle log. It will literally transform the maze into a ladder, because you're going to probe, you're going to find the frictions, you're going to find the waste, and then you're going to crystallize your purpose on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to shift and actually help you, your colleagues, your team, and your company escape the crazy maze. Now, I mentioned automation. Not everyone who's taking this course is technical. I get it. I want you to at least be familiar at just in an awareness level on what automation and acceptance test driven development test logs automation could be. And I want you to understand the crucial steps that can be increased by taking probe scans into the automation level. Using natural language processing, or NLP, there's some great free software and information that are included in the links here. Monkeylearn.com, NLTK, and Stanford University all have some outstanding free NLP resources. You also will be tested on these materials. So even though you may not code automated acceptance test driven development logs, please be aware of how they could be automated going forward.